DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic today: for you to have all the things that you want, live the life that you want, get the setup that you want, everything in your personal life, business life, everywhere, you're going to have to accept and do some things that you probably don't want to accept and you probably don't want to do. I mean, this goes to the basic premise, or the basic principle that to have what other people don't have, you got to be willing to do things that other people don't do. And usually the things that other people don't do are the things that are not convenient. They're inconvenient. They're discomforting for us in whatever way. And they may be tedious. They may require a certain amount of discipline. They are simply hard things. You may have heard people talk about this, do hard things. Why do you want to do these things? Because there's little competition amongst people for doing hard things, simply because people can look at it. A lot of times you can just look at something without having any experience and all right, this is going to be pretty hard to do. And what happens for many people is that they never even get started on anything that fits that description, simply because they can see, all right, this is going to be hard to do. Do I actually want to do this work? Do I actually want to commit myself to something like this? The answer for a lot of people is no, they don't. They rather do things that are within their comfort zone, things that are within your range of capabilities, not only physically, but also mentally, spiritually, emotionally, things that you feel comfortable doing. And that's different for everybody. But there are certain things that are generally hard, people just don't want to do. So let's talk about an example. If you are really good you're a good practitioner at a certain skill. Let's say you're great at baking cakes and cookies and pies. So you decide you want to start a bakery because you don't like taking orders from your boss. You don't like having somebody dictate the schedule to you. And you don't like, not liking the coworkers who work at the place that you work right now. So you decide to start your own bakery so you can be in charge. You can call the shots and make tons of money in the process. There are some hard things you're going to have to do in order to make that a reality, such as you got to learn how to actually run a business, which has nothing to do with the actual thing that you sell. Your ability to bake has nothing to do with your ability to run a business, meaning bringing customers in, managing your customer situation, hiring your own staff, training your staff, filling out and getting all the paperwork and the licenses and all the stuff, the clearances, all the stuff that you need from the local government in order to actually run a physical business. All that stuff has nothing to do with your ability to do X, whatever the thing is. And you might not want to do those things because this is why you had the job working in a bakery in the first place. So you could just do what you love, which is baking. But in order for you to get the lifestyle that you want and the outcomes you want, you got to accept and learn and then execute on all these things that either you never thought you would need to do, you probably don't have the general competence to do, which is why you weren't doing it from the beginning. And you might look at it and realize, okay, this is a little bit harder than it looks from the outside looking in. Are you going to stick with it and actually show up and do it? I talk about this in my book called The Third Day. It's all about how you show up and give your best effort when you least feel like it. And this is what professionals do. Professionals see that the job is not going to be easy. They see there's going to be challenging. They see there's going to be a task. And they show up and do the job anyway. And this is why a professional is a professional, because they do the work even when it's not easy to do the work. Whereas an amateur, on the other hand, only does the work when it's easy to do the work, but most of the time it's not easy. This is why amateurs are amateurs and pros are pros. So for you, think about and this is another principle I talk about in the book, The Third Day. You get the book for free, by the way, by going to thirddaybook.com. It's covered in shipping. Links down below in the description. I talk about this in the book, The Third Day, is that you need an anchor. What is it that you want strongly enough, or that you care about strongly enough, that you are willing to do hard things in order to have it? You're an athlete, for example. We all understand, even if you're not an athlete, you understand the general idea of sports. To be a great athlete in sports, you probably have to do a good amount of training, physical training. And it's not always going to be easy, because if it was easy, then every athlete would just be amazing. The reason why championship athletes are willing to do that work is because they want the championship more than they dislike the training. You don't have to love the training, but if you love the outcome that you can get from the training, then you'll be willing to do the training. So the question for you is, what's the anchor? What is it that you want strongly enough, or that you care about enough, that you're willing to go through hard stuff in order to achieve it? Because when you're clear on what that anchor is, then you'll look at the hard things that thing requires, because anything that's worth having, any outcome that's worth achieving in life, there are some hard things you're going to have to do. You just have to decide. You just got to pick your flavor of what we call the shit sandwich. What's your favorite flavor of shit sandwich that you're willing to eat in order to get outcome X, outcome Y, outcome Z? So you got to decide what the outcome is that is strong enough that you're willing to do all the hard stuff that it requires. And that's just a choice that you get to make. The good thing about life is that there are infinite number of choices, infinite number of places you can choose from as to where you want to go with this. Excuse me, but if you're going to do anything that is worthwhile, you will have to go somewhere with this concept. So hopefully this is useful, and you can look at what you're doing right now and ask yourself, am I going to do the hard things here, or do I need to find somewhere else where I care about the outcome strongly enough that I am willing to do the hard things? If it's not here where you are now, then you need to find somewhere else. That said, text me so you can get my daily motivation message that I send out for free every morning straight to your phone. My number is 305-384-6894. And workonyourgameuniversity.com. That link is down below in the description as well. This is the place where you would like to work with me directly. You want to be coached by me. You want to join my programs where I coach people on things like what I just talked about: mindset, strategies for your business, systems to make your business run smoothly and consistently. And you also apply these in your personal life as well. And execution, and the accountability you need to execute on a consistent basis, not just being good at what you do, but being good all the time, being good consistently to where you can expect and predict your results. That and more all happens inside of Work on Your Game University. Is the only place to get these things. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. The link is below in the description. Work on your game. Dre, all